Welcome back to another episode of the Sideline. My name is Asher Hire, and I'm joined with,
Rishi
and we've got super fun podcast. This is the first time we've recorded right after Sunday night, because usually we have to wait for the Monday night game.
Mm-hmm.
And now all the games are fresh in our minds, and so I'm super excited for this one. We'll just get right into it. Bills Chiefs just ended about 45 minutes ago. And my God, all these games, first of all, were insane.
Ridiculous.
The script writers were really on it today.
I saw somebody. This joke might have been in poor taste, but they say it's John Madden wrote the script before he passed away. This is the only way that this could have come out to this result.
They definitely need to get paid more after this, because this was every single game was like a movie.
Yeah, after the Bucks Rams was oh, there's no way Bills Chiefs can be better, and it was. It's one of the greatest playoff games, if not the greatest playoff game I've ever seen.
Every single game ended on the last play of the game. Every single one came down to the final play. 3 of them game-winning field goals. Bills Chiefs was a touchdown to end it. And we'll just start with this one. Really, I predicted the Chiefs to win this game, just simply because, I don't know, they've already been there, done that. Mahomes has owned this defense in the past, and he did it again today. He went crazy.
Yeah, what were his
both quarterbacks?
Both quarterbacks were just ridiculous. This was by far the best offensive playoff game I've ever seen. In my life, the last 2 minutes, I think I saw a stat. 17 points were scored in the last 73 seconds of game time.
Just insane.
That's ridiculous. What Josh Allen goes down the field, does a touchdown with 13 seconds left, and it's still too much time. That's unbelievable.
It's just
13 seconds.
Dude, the Chiefs, they just win every single game. Every single one of these games, they just come out and win.
It seems
you just can't beat these guys unless.
It seems ever since they lost to New England in the AFC Championship game in 2019, they have not even allowed themselves to get into that opportunity again. If they have a chance to win it, they're gonna win. That's just how it is.
And it always seems like it ends the same way, where the opposing defense just can't get a stop for 3 or 4 straight possessions that end the game. It's just touchdown, 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 touchdown. It's damn, get a stop. They get stops in the second and third quarters, but
in the fourth quarter they just
turn it on. Yeah,
it's unreal. Josh Allen in this game went 27 of 37, 330 yards, 4 touchdowns. He had 11 carries for 70 yards on the ground. Gabriel Davis, man,
oh wow, he went.
Stephon Diggs had an off, 3 catches, 7 yards. He was being double covered the entire game, and they made someone else beat them. And Gabriel Davis, 8 catches, 201 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's the best playoff performance ever. I don't know if you can top that. But they still, because Mahomes went 33 of 44 for 380 yards and 3 touchdowns, and 1 on the ground, and Mecole Hardman had 1 on the ground.
It's just wild. Josh Allen, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in these playoffs, and you still can't beat Mahomes. What do you have to do to beat this guy?
Yeah. I picked the Bills to win this game, and then after the first drive, I'm I'm feeling pretty confident. Then the Chiefs come right back because Mahomes uses the legs incredibly well this game. He's not a fast guy, but he just knows how to get out of sacks so well. And
oh my God,
I don't know what to do about it. And so they come back, and then it's just back and forth after, and this was I don't know how you're, if you're a Bills fan, how you recover from this. I would be
devastated.
I'd be
just
heartbroken.
Just thinking about the history of the Bills too. This is the first time they've been relevant in forever. And to come down to it where your defense has to get 1 stop with 13 seconds left on the clock, and you aren't able to pull that out.
Yeah,
it's just. Yeah, that's heartbreaking.
Really bad. And I also want to talk about the overtime, because it was a great drive by Kansas City. They went down, they was third down at one point, but they were able to get the first. And they were able to like get a rhythm going. And I mean, Buffalo's defense. I feel like everybody knew the second Kansas City won the toss, everyone knew they were going to win it. Like Buffalo wasn't going to stop them.
Yeah.
But I think it's just very dumb that game. I think even if Buffalo got the ball, I think they were going to win. I don't think Kansas City's defense was going to make a stop.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's very stupid that the game can end just because of the coin toss. Like I think it's been a problem for a while. Like
I know.
Both teams should have a chance to score. That's why I really like college football, the way they do it. Like both teams should have a chance to be able to score and be able to tie and be able to win. The fact that you just take away that element of the game and sudden death makes it – I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just it's two super similar, like, teams, really. Two similar quarterbacks. And for it to come down to that, yeah, it's pretty stupid. And it is something I think they need to change. I mean, like, you can look at it, like, through, like, a perspective where it's like, oh, you had 60 minutes. Like, you should have won the game in those 60 minutes and avoid time. But it's like when you got two teams like this, they're both just so good. They would destroy any other team that they played in this game. They're just both amazing, and they both have similar qualities on each team. And it's just, it's kind of annoying how it comes down to that.
And like it another thing that people were saying is like, oh, just play defense. Like the rules don't have to change. If you play defense, you'll have a chance to win. But it's just,
it's
I don't know.
Like back to back, you know, like the Chiefs, the Bills were just on defense, and then you got to come straight back out there, and it's all the momentum's on the Chiefs side and crowd and stuff, obviously.
And this isn't like a reactionary take for me. Like I've had this, I've had this take for a while. I know a lot of people have had this take for a while. Like this is like the Packers-Cardinals game in the divisional round, like 5-6 years ago when the Broncos won the Super Bowl. Like Aaron Rodgers had like the greatest playoff drive of all time, having two insane throws, and then you don't give him a chance.
To
win the game.
The same thing in that Brandon Bostic onside kick game where the Seahawks scored 13 straight points without Rodgers touching the ball again. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous, and I don't know what the change is. Like maybe it is they just adopt full-time college.
I don't know if they adopt full-time college rules because starting from the 25 is like
because there's like
offense that's too easy.
That and like some offenses are just made for the red zone, whereas some are like they're better outside the red zone and stuff like that. So
they got to figure out something. I think one of the better ideas I've heard it's just like a 10-minute timed quarter. Whoever is leading at the end of the quarter wins. Like I feel like that's the best thing because it doesn't like it takes away the opportunity of like a walk-off win, which I guess is kind of lame, but it's the most even playing ground. Like you just get an extra quarter.
Yeah, that's fair.
If they want to leave something like that in, I don't know. For playoffs, they could add it in. Like for playoffs, if it's still tied after 10 minutes, you go into sudden death after that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That has to change. It like ruined like a great game, but at the same time, like you got to appreciate how good of a game that was. Like I don't like. I've been like mad about the result because I don't like the Chiefs that much, but at the same time, it's like that was such a good game. I shouldn't be angry at whatever happened.
Yeah, and then more like just, I guess, talking about the game, like I don't know, this just happened. I haven't really had the chance to like really look at it. But just like I think the touchdown that the Bills scored in the last 13 seconds. First of all, that was an amazing drive. It only took them 49 seconds to go 75 yards and take the lead, because when Kansas City scored that touchdown with Tyreek Hill, it's like, man, like the Bills can still come back or whatever, but that is a long shot, and they did. Dude, that's just insane. Like they had how much time was left on the clock? At like 1 minute?
103, 1 something.
And to think that the Chiefs get the ball back and score, like like what?
Like they almost timed it perfectly. Like they almost timed it perfectly.
Yeah.
It was just like that's just insane.
I was thinking at that point, would you go for 2 after the touchdown? Make it a 4-point game, which you're not going to score a touchdown in 13 seconds unless some crazy lateral stuff happens. So, because if you get the 2, the game's over. If you don't get the 2, it's a 2-point game. But it's like kind of still the same. Like you can't let them get into field goal range. Like in a 3-point game, you still can't let them get into field goal range.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they just had went for 2 earlier, and like the play didn't work. They just got like a miracle throw.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's tough. I feel like in hindsight, obviously you'd think like, okay, yeah, just go 20-20. I mean, you lost in overtime anyway, but I don't know. That's a ballsy decision to make with 13 seconds left.
When you got Allen, who's been running over everyone, the entire fourth quarter.
It's tough. That's a tough decision. I don't know if I would have made it. Like I wouldn't have blamed them if they had done that because it forces you to go for a touchdown, like you said. But oh man, if you don't get it and you lose in regulation on a field goal, like that's rough. Because at least if you get the field goal, then you give yourself a chance in overtime. But at the same time, like you still lost. I don't know. It's a tough decision. Yeah,
and there were other questionable, I thought, decisions in this game. Like the one, it was 23-21 Kansas City in the fourth quarter, and they had the ball, and it was at the Buffalo 16 after that big Tyreek Hill punt return.
Yeah.
At the 16, and they don't have Mahomes throw that entire drive. Like
I thought that was a lot.
And then you put the ball in your backup tight end's hands and run a college speed option with that. Like I get like Andy Reid is the king of these crazy plays, but that was a little too like relax there, Andy. Like just give the
it was very uncharacteristic.
Yeah.
It was really, really uncharacteristic.
So that kept the Bills in the game. Because if it was going to be a touchdown, it would have been a 2-possession game, and that kept them in the game there. And then there's a 17-play touchdown drive with that 4th and 13, Gabe Davis wide open in the end zone, and then
the second touchdown that I guess the 4th touchdown that Gabe Davis caught, the last one. The Chiefs defense was caught in a lot of odd situations. Because they played too deep a lot this game, but they were still allowing so many things to get by them in too deep and so many things over the middle to get by them in too deep.
Yeah,
and like that's exactly what you're trying to prevent, and they just did not.
I think a lot of that had to do with Matthew being out. I feel like he's always the one kind of obviously he's like the leader of the defense and stuff, but he's also always kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
They're patrolling things. So I feel like that hurt them. But, yeah, I mean, you're right. There are just a bunch of weird stuff. And Juan Thornhill letting Davis get behind him. And I think the second quarter, that bomb.
Yeah. That throw. Josh Allen, I think he has solidified his place as a top 2 to 3 quarterback.
Yeah.
Not just this game, but his playoff performance. Like, I probably after this this weekend, I have it Mahomes 1, Allen 2.
That's what I think.
Like that's just,
dude. Like, they're just so so insane. Like there's things Mahomes is better at. I think like maneuvering the pocket and stuff. Mahomes is better at. Like I feel like Josh Allen kind of just like he's so good out of the pocket, but in the pocket. I don't know. I mean, he's obviously tremendous in the pocket too, but it's just like Mahomes, the way he's able to maneuver through the pocket and stuff. And then
I think that Allen as like a set thrower, like when he has a clean pocket, is better than if Mahomes has a clean pocket. But when Mahomes is able to maneuver, because like Mahomes doesn't take any sacks. Like I think he might have had like 2 sacks, and he probably should have gotten sacked like 5 or 6 times.
I mean, he's just so slippery.
Like he's way better maneuvering out of those. But yeah, like Allen when he's set. Even when he's not set, if he just has a clean pocket, he is. There was a throw he had, I think probably to Gabe Davis too. Like he wasn't set. He was gonna run it. He sees he has Davis open. He is like square. He's not lined up. He doesn't have his back foot is like ahead of his plant foot, and he throws it sidearm on a dime.
Yeah,
in stride. I'm like, how do you?
And then there's another one where it was like to the sideline. It was an incomplete pass. But he was rolling out right. It was to Davis again, and I thought he was just throwing it away, and it was just a beautiful.
Yeah.
And like Davis, like had caught it originally and then bobbled it as he was going out of bounds. So I mean, like, that stuff is crazy. Obviously, his running is crazy, but like, you look at the running, and Mahomes finished with more rushing yards than Allen, which just shows how insane he is. I mean, both of these quarterbacks are just so dominant, and
they're both insane. Like, it pains me to watch it, just knowing that the Broncos don't have anything close to it. And like, I don't know if we're ever gonna find anything close to that. And now we got to play this dude. We got to play Mahomes and Herbert 4 times a year combined. And you also got to deal with now Joe Burrow, who's emerged as a top, 7 quarterback. Yeah. Josh Allen has had a better season than he did last season. It's just,
dude, it's like all this Drew Lock stuff. Like, I'm convincing myself he's going to be a good. There's no way Drew Lock throws for 380 yards and 3 touchdowns in a divisional game.
No, like, there's no way. You can't. Nobody, like.
Dude, I'm just. Oh my god.
Like, I remember after Lock's rookie year, there was so much conversation about him being a better quarterback than Josh Allen, and I actually believed it because he looked better than him. I mean, he had more 300-yard games after 5 games than Allen did after 32. But Allen, that third year last year, I mean, he just took a leap that I don't think anybody ever saw happening. And now I don't know. It's just insane. It's just ridiculous. Like, it's speechless how crazy this game was. Like, it's actually just speechless.
Just so well played, and man, I'm hoping that both. I mean, like, for their team's sake, not for the Broncos and stuff. I think both teams need one more weapon each.
Probably.
Especially the Bills. Like,
yeah, the Bills definitely need one more. Like, obviously, Gabe Davis had a crazy game, but they need another.
But outside of that, it's like Diggs. Dude, I don't know, like, about Diggs. Like, I don't know where I would rank him, I guess, in these receivers. Like, he's not fast, really. I mean, he's not the fastest. He's not the strongest. It doesn't seem like he's a good route runner. He reminds me of, like, Devontae Adams, I guess. I mean, Adams, I think, is better, but, like, Diggs, I mean, he's got to, like, step up, I guess. You look at Tyreek Hill, and he had that his game-breaking speed and everything, 150 yards, 11 receptions, and then, like...
Yeah, like, Diggs, his best attribute is definitely his route running, but, like, he doesn't have... He has great hands as well, but route running and hands, but he's not, like you say, he's not the fastest guy. He doesn't have incredible size.
He's not going to, like, jump over. Like, he's not, like, a great, like, 50-50 guy either. He had a 50-50 chance where I think it was that drive where the Bills eventually scored a touchdown at the very end with 13 seconds. But Allen gave him
a shot,
Yeah, and it wasn't even, like, close. Like, Diggs didn't even put his second hand up there. So I don't know, like,
I think that
they need maybe Buffalo, like, a speed guy on.
Buffalo's gonna pick in, like, the mid-20s. I don't know if they'll have a chance they probably won't have a chance at a guy like Olave.
But if Jameson Williams falls,
down there, Mechie is staying, right?
No, he declared.
He declared. Then is Williams staying then, or did they both declare? I think one of them.
No,
stayed.
they both are declared.
They both did. Okay, so one of those guys is gonna fall. One of them is gonna be there.
Yeah.
So they'll have an opportunity to get somebody. This is another, like, sneakily deep wide receiver class. Like, I see a lot of people saying this is a bad, like, draft class. I know you're just looking at quarterbacks if you think it's a bad draft class. This is a very good, very deep draft class. They'll have a chance to get somebody. Kansas City's, they're gonna be able to get somebody, whether it's the free agency or the draft. So I think they'll be fine. Yeah,
but I'm just, like, there are moments in this game, especially I think towards the end, where, like, the only time the Bills could, like, complete a pass was, like, Davis wide open in the end zone. Davis pretty open with 13 seconds left down the middle of the field. Still a ridiculous throw. But it's like there are points towards the end of the game where, like, the Bills had gotten into a 4th and 13 because no one's open down the field, and Allen has to scramble out and try to create something for himself. There's, I think, the 4th and 4 that Allen had to scramble and get the first down.
Yeah.
But it's just like it doesn't seem like there's another reliable kind of like, not like reliable because Beasley is pretty reliable, but like another like game changer.
Yeah. Like I don't think that they need anything else besides like a game changer on offense type of guy. Like defensively, I think they need somebody bigger on the defensive line because it looked like they got pressure, but they weren't getting it consistently.
And the Chiefs kind of ran at will.
They did. They ran it very, very well. Jerick McKinnon and Edwards-Helaire both had huge runs. Mm-hmm. But like they need another guy who could just commands more attention.
Yeah.
Like they don't have any of that. Like I'm sure Gabriel Davis is going to get more going into next season coming off of this, but they need somebody else, like just some more established guy.
And then for the Chiefs side, I think they need another guy too. I think if you give Mahomes a big possession receiver and let him throw it up like he likes to do, like, man, I mean, it's
scary.
Unstoppable because you got Hill and you got Kelsey, obviously, and then outside of that, it's really no one.
Yeah.
And I think if you look at like my pick for the Chiefs, and he might go higher after the combine, but I don't know if you know Traylon Burks from Arkansas.
Yes.
The receiver.
I know him, yeah.
I mean, he's huge and he's fast.
He's like DK Metcalf. Like that's
pretty much
like comparison. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
they get somebody
they
like
say
that.
He like can't run routes, but like I don't care. Like throw it up to him and he's gonna get the ball. I don't care if you can run routes, if you can catch it.
Yeah.
And
plus like a guy that big, like you're not expecting someone that big to be able to run anything more complex than like a post, like a outside post, like something like that. Like if you can just run it, if you're good at the top of your route, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to create separation at the top, you're fine. Especially someone that big, like you're gonna be okay.
I mean, like every Chief receiver other than Kelsey is like small. They're small and they're quick. And I think if you give Mahomes a big guy, they tried with Josh Gordon, but he's just so washed up. Like, it didn't work. But if you give him a big guy, I think that would make that offense even more dangerous, which is scary. But I think that's all I have to say about that game.
Yeah.
Really. If we want to talk about the first game that happened this weekend, the Bengals and the Titans, dude, like the Titans, I thought this went exactly according to how we thought it was going to go. Like according to plan, and the Titans should have won this game. Like,
they should have.
They dominated both sides of the line of scrimmage. 9 sacks on Burrow. Like
the only touchdown that Cincinnati had was on a run play, but like Joe Mixon didn't have any running room.
Yeah,
he did not. They forced turnovers. Like Samaje Perine, like had the weird. I don't know what happened, but they had an interception. Like they should have won this game.
Mm-hmm.
They should have won this game, but they put the ball in the hands of Tannehill to win it. And that's not this is 2 straight seasons where the Titans season ends because of a Tannehill interception. So they might be another team that's in line for a quarterback change.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he started the game with an interception, and like the Bengals were up 6-0, and it was just all because of like BS, really. Like there's the interception, and then there's the Jamar Chase insane Jamar Chase thing where he took a screen like 75 yards.
Yeah.
And put him in a field goal range. But like other than that, the Bengals could not move the ball at all. Like really, like at all.
No,
like,
they really couldn't.
Higgins was open and Uzama were open in the middle of the field a lot of times and on the sideline. But Joe Burrow made that big throw at the end to put him in a field goal range.
Mm-hmm. Like the box score shows like Burrow, I'm pretty sure he had over 300 yards passing.
Yeah, he had like 350. Yeah, but it was not.
It was like a tough 350. Like he had to work to get those yards. He had 28 of 37, 348 yards, no touchdowns and an interception that was not his fault. But he had 9 sacks, and I don't know how he has a 28 quarterback rating. He was not that bad. And he had 28 QBR and a 93 quarterback rating.
Okay, QBR is stupid. I think
I don't know what it has to take sacks into effect because
I just looked this up. Like the all-time leader in QBR is, dude, I don't want pass rating. God, it's some random guy. Like, oh my God, I want to look this up. I'm gonna cut this out, but
it's probably on Pro Football Reference. It's probably up there.
This guy. Oh, this was the highest QBR in a game ever. Charlie Batch, 186 yards, 2 interceptions, has ESPN's highest QBR ever. Like, I don't understand how this works at all. ESPN just messes up everything they do.
Yeah.
Really. And that stat is weird. Pass rating's definitely like better, I guess.
Yeah. The Titans defense dominated this game.
Yeah.
Like from start to finish, they dominated this game. Tannehill throws an interception on the first play of the game, and then Cincinnati couldn't do anything with it. I'm pretty sure they might have got one first down, and that's it. And they had to settle for a field goal. Then again, Tennessee doesn't do anything. Cincinnati drives, but they have to settle for a field goal. And then I think what was the weirdest thing, the Titans scored a touchdown. Like Derrick Henry scores, and they tied at 6-6. And then they go for 2 for some reason.
Oh yeah, what was that?
It's like they got an offsides on the extra point.
Right.
They're like,
right.
you know what? Okay, let's go for 2. But like, why? You don't need a 2-point conversion. It's the first half. It's not going to do anything crazy. Like, it's not going to make it a 2-possession game. It's not going to make it so like a field goal can't beat you or something. Like, I really didn't understand why they did that. And that, like, it didn't cost them the game, but like it was just a very odd thing. Like, it just changed. Like, it changes the perception. Like, you're up 7-6 versus tied 6-6. It changes the perception of a game.
Yeah,
that was very weird.
That was. Evan McPherson seemed like the MVP of this game. He hit a 54-yard field goal. He hit that game-winning 52-yard field goal. He also hit a 45-yard field goal. I mean, a rookie kicker, that's a good weapon to have right there.
Yeah.
And I think like a lot of these Joe Burrow yards came from like because he was sacked so much, putting them in like, 3rd and 20 or whatever, and then you get like 13 yards and then you punt it. That's one thing Joe Burrow, like rightfully so, the O-line needs to be blamed. As some video is playing on ESPN. I'm looking at these stats. But like there were so many of those sacks where he did not. There were so many like 15-yard losses where he should have just thrown the ball immediately or thrown it away. Instead, he's trying to make something happen and then he gets sacked for a bigger loss than he should have. So I think
there were a couple times where he either should have thrown it away or he should have stepped up in the pocket.
Yeah.
And he would like run back and try and create space. And then he gets sacked and he would take him at a field goal range. Like that happened a couple of times.
But I think it was just so tough because with Simmons was winning this.
Oh my God.
Every single matchup. So it was Simmons up the middle and then the 2 edge guys, like that pocket collapses so quick and you can't really step up.
Even if they had a good O-line, like Tennessee still probably would have won the line of scrimmage. Like that front seven is just insane. But like if the Bengals don't trade up and try and get somebody good with their first pick, they are like they suck because they need somebody good. They need someone to help. Like they really don't have anybody good on that offensive line at all. Like it's all below average. Everyone's below average. They need somebody good.
Yeah. But it's not like you shouldn't have drafted Jamar Chase.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like Jamar Chase had 2 game-changing plays in this game alone.
And I think he's the best receiver in the league. I mean, you don't pass on the best receiver in the league for Sewell. Like
the Penei Sewell would have helped, but he's not. Like they quite literally do not make the playoffs without Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a stretch. They don't make it without him. He's that good, and he had that many big time games. He's had multiple 100-yard games. He's the youngest player in NFL history to have 200-yard receiving games in the playoffs, and he did it in 2 games. He's insane. Like they do not. They just need to. If they weren't, they're going to be really far in the draft. Like they're going to be like 28, 29 picking.
Yeah.
So they're definitely not going to have a chance at like Evan Neal or Tyler Lindenbaum. So they're going to have to do something in free agency to get offensive guys.
And maybe like the Chiefs brought in 2 free agent or they traded for Brown, I guess, and then they brought in Toomey. So
yeah,
I think
they drafted Creed Humphrey in the 2nd round too. So
and,
it's not
and
even
Trey
like
Smith in the 6th round.
Yeah, like you don't need to get anything in the 1st round. So
yeah,
they have chances. But like that has to be their number one. Like that has to be their top priority.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, we'll see what the Bengals do against the Chiefs. I don't think they'll beat them. But I didn't think they were going to beat the Titans, and somehow they just
like for a team this young to win games like this is very impressive. Like this is like when the Titans won, like when they went to the AFC Championship in 2019, they weren't like they were like an old, not an old team, but they had a veteran head coach, they had a veteran quarterback, they had veterans on the outside. Derrick Henry wasn't like a rookie anymore. I mean, he was like a 4th, 5th year guy, like an established player. But this Bengals team, I mean, Joe Burrow 2nd year, Jamar Chase 1st year, T. Higgins 2nd year, Joe Mixon is in 4th year maybe. Like, I think he's probably the same age Derrick Henry was when they made that run. But their coach is in his 3rd year. Their offensive coordinator isn't like that experienced. I'm pretty sure this was only his first job being a play caller.
Yeah.
They have a young defense. Like this is for them to be winning games like this and being this poised is extremely impressive.
Yeah. That defense was impressive too, stacking up Henry a lot. It was clear that he was hurt. Like there were multiple runs where it's like he tried to take it out, bounce it outside, and it's just like
he just couldn't.
This is not the speed that we're used to with Henry.
Yeah.
And Foreman had the best run of the day, and he probably should have played more. But I don't know. Ryan Tannehill choked. Really, all 3 interceptions were forced into tight pockets. That shouldn't have been, and the Bengals somehow come away with it.
It's going to be interesting what the Titans do, because if they're in like the bidding for like Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, I have like that's the Broncos' biggest opposition for one of those, because they just had the 1 seed, and then you add a guy like that that has to be very appealing for them.
Yeah.
So that is a dark horse team if they do move on from Tannehill.
And I forgot we were supposed to talk about the Broncos coaching race in the beginning.
We'll just do it at the end.
Yeah. I guess I just skipped that. I don't know how that.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
But I guess the next game to talk about is the other Saturday game, the Packers and the Niners. This was very disappointing for my Rodgers GOAT agenda. But I mean, it's that, dude, this game, it just shows you how important special teams are when it comes down to games like these. I mean, like, special teams can lose you a game like it did for the Packers right here. I mean, there's the blocked punt that turned into a touchdown, and then there's the blocked field goal at the end of the half. So, I mean, Rodgers, like, should have had more than 10 points if his special teams didn't screw him over, but also, like, he should have scored, at the end of the games and stuff like that. Should have put up more than 10 points. Or like 13, because that field goal got blocked.
Like even if the field goal doesn't get blocked, it's still only 13 points. But this was like the 49ers defense the last 2 games has been incredible against 2 of the best offenses in the NFL, which is why it makes this NFC Championship game between them and the Rams so interesting, because like they've already beaten the Rams twice, and now you get a 3rd chance while also having this much momentum and their defense playing like this. So that's gonna be great. Like Fred Warner, if you go back and watch, I saw on Twitter like this guy was going through the game and he was like Fred Warner pops out on almost every single play because he's exactly where he's supposed to be, and he doesn't miss any play, which is just insane. And like that their defense bailed out the offense so hard.
Oh yeah,
so hard.
Jimmy G was trying so hard to throw pick six.
Yeah,
like, there must have been 3 or 4 that were just lofted out into the flat late, and somehow they weren't picked off. Where there's the Packers, one of the Packers guys didn't look at the ball and just went straight to the receiver. Where if he looked at the ball, it would have been a
pick six. Like
I mean, and easily. Then there were just other scary ones that were thrown out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the Niners defense with Nick Bosa got 2 sacks and Armstead got 2 sacks. I mean, yeah, this defense is elite, even without like a star in the secondary or whatever. I mean, they know how to scheme to cover guys.
Yeah, this is such a disappointing game for the Packers. Like, this is rough. Like the second the field goal went in, the first thought in my mind was Rodgers is gone. Like, I thought he might have been gone if they lose in the championship game, because I didn't even think that they were going to lose in the divisional round. Like, it didn't seem possible to me. I'm pretty sure you picked the Niners to win.
I did, but
this game.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way. There's no way that they lose. Like, I think that they're a better team. I don't think that you could take anything away from when they played in like week 3 or 4 or whatever they did, because they're 2 different teams now. They got Jair Alexander back, like they got Zadarius Smith back, they got healthy, but man, they just second half San Francisco completely outplayed them.
That first drive was so easy.
Yeah,
it was 7-0 immediately, and I'm like, oh damn, I shouldn't have picked the Niners. But then just like I'm not proud of. Like, I picked the Niners, but I'm not proud of this win. It's not like I was talking about like, oh, I think the Niners are gonna win because of this and this, and no, they won because of a blocked punt and blocked kick. Like, that's not the way I was envisioning a Niners win. So I'm not really taking credit for that. But yeah, I mean, just that second half. I mean, really, second quarter on was just abysmal, and it just shows you like I think the lack of weapons, like no one's going to talk about it. I don't think like all you have to do is win or lose and you're the GOAT.
Yeah,
but I mean, like, you got Lazard and Dominique Daphne. I've never even heard of this guy. Rodgers was throwing to, and then obviously Devontae is solid, but this is where like my thing with Devontae Adams is like, he's not like a Tyreek Hill or Jamar Chase, and you saw him in those games where he's going to take a screen and bail out the offense and run it for 80 yards. Like, he just can't. Like, he doesn't have that speed or that explosiveness. And you saw Rodgers try to take a deep shot to him at the end of the game, which was stupid. There was a guy running wide open over the middle.
I'm pretty sure it was Lazard was like wide open underneath.
Yeah.
Like, but it would have been a 30-40 yard gain easy.
Yeah, but still, like, Adams couldn't beat whoever over the top. And I feel like anytime Rodgers throws to Adams, it's never like Devontae Adams is like wide open and just completely destroyed a corner. Like, it's a lot of – he has terrific hands and stuff like that, but it's a lot of like precision passing that really has to be required, I think.
Yeah, he like the Diggs comparison you made was pretty spot on. Like, he has great hands. Like, there were a couple catches that he made where I was like, oh my God, how did he do that?
Yeah.
And his get off on the release is the best in the league. He's open very easily, but after he's open, like, he doesn't have a crazy amount of yards after the catch. He has good size, but he's not like a jump ball receiver, which I think is kind of weird. Like, it's just it is kind of weird.
It's like you notice like every single pass to Adams, like whether it's like on the sideline and Rodgers throws, it's a perfect pass every single time. Like, whether it's a back shoulder pass, whether it floats over the cornerback shoulder and right into the hands of Adams, like he's a terrific receiver. I just don't think he's as good as people say he is. And I know it's hard with him being the only really guy.
Yeah.
It is definitely hard, but
yeah, he's the only weapon on Green Bay, and that's what I thought. It was so odd that they took Jordan Love. Jordan Love can be great, but I don't think it matters because you had a chance to get a receiver in the first round. You had a chance to trade up multiple times.
I think that was like
somebody
was that the McLaurin and Metcalf and
they took who did they take? They took somebody instead of taking. There's Equinemius St. Brown, I think, instead of DK Metcalf.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure they took somebody instead of Terry McLaurin. Like they didn't take someone good.
Yeah, or like H.A. Brown, I know was there too.
Yeah, there were opportunities for sure for them to get receivers, and they just didn't. And there was a report that came out about like Aaron Rodgers saying that his relationship with Brian Gutekunst has gotten better, but I doubt that this game is going to help that because there were so many opportunities that the Packers had to put this game away, and the lack of weapons showing because the Niners defense, they don't have a very good secondary. They're very well coached and their front seven is elite, but that secondary has a lot of holes. But the fact that they couldn't do it with Aaron Rodgers, that they couldn't find the holes, is pretty telling of just how reliant that offense is on Devontae Adams.
Yeah, for sure. And I was going to say one other thing, but I'm blanking. But yeah, I mean, the Niners going to the NFC Championship game, I think that'll be super intriguing with the Rams, like two outstanding D lines.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy G somehow finds his way in another conference championship game. I think he's 8-0 in his career against the Rams, 7-0 maybe.
I know he hasn't lost.
Yeah,
that's all I know.
Yeah, so he's got the Rams number, I guess. I mean, it's surprising that the rushing attack really wasn't all that.
It wasn't.
There was one good run by Debo, I think, to ice the game or to put him in field goal range.
In field goal range, yeah.
And that was an outstanding run, but that was more just him.
Yeah. No, this game kind of put me on your side about Debo and the MVP rankings. He is put and the Cowboys game also helped. But he is put in every single package. They hand him off, you give it to him on a jet sweep, you put him in shotgun, you put him in single back, you run a screen for him, you tell him to go run a post route or a dig route or an in route or whatever, and he still is able to do it. He can do everything on offense.
Yeah.
He is that offense. He is the entire offense for that team.
Yeah. It's just surprising holding both Mitchell and Samuel to under 4 yards a carry, and you lose this game. And I mean, Aaron Rodgers should have played better. That is for sure. I mean, you're looking at what Mahomes is doing and stuff to the number one ranked defense against the Bills, and yeah, I mean, he definitely should have played better. But I hope he's a Bronco, and I think when he goes to Broncos, he's known as a choker and whatever. Well, Peyton Manning had a worse playoff record than Rodgers did.
And Peyton Manning's was his was different. Peyton Manning did not play well in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, he has not had an opportunity to play well enough to give his team a chance to win. You look at his playoff losses, most of them are not on him.
Right.
He plays very well in the postseason. It's just an outside factor, the special teams messes up, or he doesn't win the coin toss in overtime, so he doesn't even get a chance to get the ball. There's just he's so unlucky when it comes to that.
Yeah, but I think he definitely had to play. He was not playing to his standard.
He did. Especially in the second half. Especially in the second half.
There was this stat which I found crazy. It shows Rodgers choking in the playoffs or whatever. It's his regular season over the past 10 years, his passer rating over the last in the regular season over the last 10 years is 106.3. In the playoffs, it's 96.3. And then his touchdown interception ratio is 5.9 in the regular season, and then 3.2, which obviously there's a downfall, but it's not. And then you look at the win percentage, and in the regular season, it's 70%. In the playoffs, it's 43%. And you look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady is worse in the playoffs than Rodgers is.
Yeah.
And his win percentage goes up somehow, even though he gets worse in the playoffs too. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of these losses are not on Rodgers. But I feel like this one, you can say more so it was on Rodgers.
There's a lot more blame on this loss than, say, like last year or the season before.
Yeah. Like you look at 2019 against the Niners and like 240 yards for Mostert and 4 touchdowns. Like, yeah.
What are you supposed to do when your defense does that? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, we'll see. I think if Aaron Rodgers, has a change of scenery or whatever, I think the Broncos overall they're a more talented offense is for sure, and maybe the defense is better too. So I think when Rodgers has Sutton, who he can throw jump balls to, and then Judy, who can do a little bit of what Devontae Adams does.
Well, it all depends on what we have to trade for him. Like I was talking about this with some friends last night. Like if Rodgers holds his future in the cards. Like if he doesn't want to play for the Packers, but the Packers aren't going to trade him, he's just going to retire.
Yeah.
And he's stated that he's okay with that. So the Packers would be very dumb to not trade him if he doesn't want to play. Like you have to get something you're going to get a lot for Aaron Rodgers because it's Aaron Rodgers, but like for the Broncos to trade for him, it would only be 1 year of him. Well, hopefully it's more than 1 year, but he only has 1 year on the contract left. Aaron Rodgers holds all the leverage, which means that if he wants to come to Denver, Denver also holds all the leverage. So they wouldn't have to give up as much as, say, they would have had to like a year ago. So it would probably have to be 2 to 3 first round picks. I think that would be where the base is. But then you'd have to give up. I feel like you have to give up one of the receivers. I feel like they'd want one of them.
Either that or like Chubb or something.
Yeah.
Looks like Zadarius Smith is gone. He posted like a goodbye Green Bay.
Yeah.
Or thank you Green Bay post. So I think he's gone. So yeah, I mean, and I would be fine giving up really whatever. Like if you want Chubb, take Chubb. If you want Judy, I would trade Jerry Judy. I would.
Yeah, for Aaron Rodgers, I'd trade Jerry. Yeah. And I would the package that I put in the trade machine and it worked was Chubb, Fant, and 3 first rounders for Rodgers. I'd be like that's a lot, but at the same time, you're probably gonna have to go into the market for an edge rusher this season anyway because of how thin you are at that position. You have Cooper, who played well. You have Weatherly, who outplayed his expectations by far, but I don't think you can pencil him in as a starter. Malik Reed was, he's okay. But outside of that, you don't really have a lot. I guess you count in Chubb. Outside of Chubb, you don't really have a lot in the pass rusher position. So you're gonna have to go to edge anyway. You give up Chubb, you're gonna go in the free agent market and try and get somebody. So I don't think that's a big loss. And Noah Fant did not play well this season. And a lot of the offensive performance obviously is on Pat Shermer and the coaching staff, but regardless, Noah Fant, he didn't look as fast. He didn't break as many tackles. He dropped passes.
Oh my God. He was horrendous after the catch.
Yeah, he did. In fact, I would say that him and Albert O, if you replace Albert O and put him as a starting receiver or starting tight end, I don't know how much of a drop off there would be from this season. If Noah Fant, the last 2 seasons, not counting this year, his first 2 seasons in the league, I would take him over a lot of tight ends. But if he's gonna play like this, I'll give him up for Aaron Rodgers, but he would be part of that trade. So that's why. But if they would want Sutton or Judy instead, I would probably also give that up because I feel it's fair.
Yeah, I mean, Sutton would really hurt because that's like a bona fide wide receiver one.
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy, oh my God. I know Jerry Jeudy has had horrific quarterback play and I know he's open and stuff, but dude, I don't know. His hands are still a problem.
They are.
His speed, he doesn't blow by anyone really.
I feel like he can. He
can like after the catch.
Yeah.
But with his route running, his route running is spectacular, obviously. He's not like Devontae Adams, he's not a 50-50 receiver guy. You can't rely on him like that. But you give him Aaron Rodgers, yeah, he would be a lot better, and I think But like, it just seems like CeeDee Lamb is probably better, and Justin Jefferson's better. I feel like Elway kind of whiffed on that. At least he didn't take Rager.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't know. I feel like.
So I'm just saying I'm more comfortable trading Jeudy than Sutton.
I probably would be also. I just think like you give up Jeudy, then you have like we saw what the Broncos offense looked like without.
That's
Jeudy.
true.
Like they're even with Rodgers, like you are just missing an element of that offense. Even if KJ Hamler is there, like I don't think KJ Hamler is on the level of Jerry Jeudy. So even if KJ Hamler is there and he is your wide receiver 3, you're still like missing something. Like KJ Hamler is a deep threat. Cortland Sutton and Tim Patrick are great intermediate and deep threats, but then you don't have like a true person to go underneath to or someone to get something over the middle. That's why. And like Aaron Rodgers, we know like he has a great arm still at the age of 38. He can get it down deep, but a lot of his offense comes in the short to intermediate range. And Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton are great, but they're not. You don't want to have guys that big working in spaces that small.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. I just think if you have to trade one of those guys, I'd be more comfortable giving up Jeudy.
I would probably agree with that.
And another quarterback who's actually threatening retiring. I saw this report that he's not committed, I guess, to next season is Tom Brady. And so I guess we'll talk about Rams, Bucks. Another just stupid game. These first 3 games are just stupid. Like this is not like football. Played here. The Bills and the Chiefs, that was high level football. Better team wins, I guess. I mean, you got the coin toss, but I think the better team won. These games were just ridiculous. I mean, the Rams, they were dominating this game, 27-3, and then it just happened. It started to happen. The Tom Brady voodoo black magic stuff happens, and it happens like every single playoff run.
Every time, bro.
Dude, but this was to the extreme. This was like max.
This was at a different level than I've ever seen it. Like it wasn't that the Bucks were like making crazy plays and like the offense was like getting the momentum. It was just like the Rams were just doing the stupidest stuff possible. They stopped
4 fumbles. Like
you don't recover any of them.
Yeah.
You lose all 4?
Dude, and then you get – is that even counting the missed snap? I think it is actually.
It is.
You force Brady to fumble. Von Miller does. And then the very next snap, you snap it 30 yards back, and Brady gets the ball back just like that. And all these fumble recoveries, except for the one that stopped a touchdown, by the way.
Yeah.
All of them ended in great field position for Brady.
Yeah, like that's like the Rams defense actually I thought played pretty good.
Oh, they did.
Because like when the Bucks actually had to get down the field, they didn't do anything. They only had 2 field goals when they actually had to get down the field.
The Rams defense was spectacular, I thought.
They played incredible.
Except for the Jalen Ramsey, Mike Evans thing, which somehow happened. Like this seems so scripted. No way. How does that even – Jalen Ramsey just didn't even – it looked like he wasn't even trying on that.
Yeah, he was like jogging.
Yeah.
He got beat off the line. He was like, all right, cool. Just take it. It was so weird. And like the Rams, like you said, they dominated up 27-3. And then they get the ball back up 27-6.
Yeah.
They don't even try to go for a kill shot. They're just running it. They're not doing any of their play action stuff deep down the field. They're not doing anything to like get OBJ the ball. Like he barely had anything outside of the third quarter. Like after they went up 27-3, I don't even think he was like in the game.
But I mean, like, really,
such an odd game plan that they adopted after they went up.
Yeah, really, Tampa probably should have like won this game. Like if you consider they did not really do much after the fumbles. Like you got the Cooper Kupp fumble. This was 27-6 in the game. Cooper Kupp fumble happened at the Bucs got it back at the LA 30. So Brady just had to go down 30 yards. They get a touchdown there. And then you got the negative 25-yard snap, and then the Bucs turn it over on downs after that. So I mean that's a missed opportunity there because that was great field position too at the 50. And then you got the field goal that is short.
Oh my God,
47 yards. I thought he drilled it, and then all of a sudden it says like missed in the top left. I'm like, what? He missed it, and that would
kicker, and he went short on a 45-yard.
That would have made it a 3-possession game, but the Bucs don't do anything off of that turnover on downs. And then after that was the Mike Evans, I guess like fluke type of play, but like not like super hard working down the field. It was just a big throw, and then the Cam Akers fumble, and then the Bucs only had to go 30 yards and then get a touchdown. Dude, this game was just ridiculous. Like
so weird. Like they went up 27-3, and I saw so many people like, oh, Rams should go for 2 to make it 28-3 just for the memes. And I was like, I
didn't think it was actually going to happen that this game was going to be close.
Yeah.
And I don't
even you said it like you said it in our preview for this game last week. We were like I think the Rams can win this game, but it's going to be tough. And you were like, yeah, because all the Brady stuff is going to happen.
Literally.
The voodoo stuff. And it happened to the most extreme level possible.
If you want to show like a example to like a kid or something or whatever to describe this luck, like this is the game. And I know this is to the extreme, but stuff like this happened in the Falcons game too.
Yeah.
And stuff like this happens in the games where Brady plays like whatever, horrible.
One of the things that I think goes like unmentioned when you talk about Brady's luck is Billy Cundiff had a 27-yard field goal in 2012. And he misses it like 30 yards to the right. It's like I've never seen somebody miss a chip shot that bad.
It's insane. And then on the other side of things, him and Adam Vinatieri kick like 2 50-yarders in the blizzard to win a playoff game. Like, dude, this stuff happened. It does. It's so weird. But okay, this is what the Rams were up 14 with 4:31 left. And the game becomes tied. Like, and it's just, first of all, the super conservative play calling, 3 and out, immediate 3 and out. It was a run for 4 yards, run for -1, and then an incompletion, and then a punt, and then the Mike Evans thing. And then the Bucs like needed something crazy to happen, and of course,
they didn't have timeouts.
Yeah,
they didn't have timeouts. All you have to do is get like 2 first downs, and that's it. Game is over.
And he would have gotten a first down. Cam Akers was on his way to a first down.
Yeah,
and then Sue strips it out. Sue is kind of ridiculous with that. Oh, he kicked me like he did. He kicked you because you tackled him.
You tackled him, yeah.
Hit him. And then the Brady had finally. Brady's always talking at the refs after every single hit, like, "Hey, he hit me." And finally, they call him on a unsportsmanlike thing. First time in his career he's been penalized for that.
Yeah, but they said that, and I was like, "That's got to be false. Like, there's no way."
Mm-hmm.
With how emotional he plays the game, that's the first time he's gotten unsportsmanlike. Really?
Yeah.
I guess
I was super surprised. Like some of the downs and stuff, the turnover on downs, I was fully like they went back-to-back possession with turnover on downs. I was fully expecting a flag to just
yeah.
and I'm like
Yeah.
I was
Like
fully
the Eric Weddle hit
oh yeah,
on Mike Evans. I was like, are you kidding me?
dude,
Like, really?
I was like I was thinking that during the middle of the play, like, oh, they're gonna call a flag on this, and of course they do. But thank God it was after the ball hit. But there was also a pass interference on another drive with Evans. I think one of these last touchdown drives there was a pass interference. And yeah, I was surprised there were no flags on those downs. And then thank God for Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp clutching up.
Yeah, I don't know what the Bucks defense. This got him in trouble earlier. We talked about it with the Chiefs defense, like in the Bengals game, in the regular season. Like they blitzed for some reason.
Yeah,
like they brought, I don't know if it was Carlton Davis or Sean Murphy Bunting. They bring them down on a blitz from the slot, and then you put Cooper Kupp one-on-one with a safety. Are you kidding me? On the biggest plays of the game. And obviously he burns him because he's Cooper Kupp and he's had one of the greatest receiver seasons of all time. And Matt Stafford placed the ball perfectly.
Dude, this entire game he was on fire. Like,
yeah,
this was a beautiful game for.
That's why I was so confused when they took the ball out of his hands. Like,
yeah,
they just kept running it and doing all these wimpy short plays to keep running the clock. I'm like, no, I feel like you have. That Sean McVay has already played Tom Brady once in the playoffs, and he lost. And you have been in the NFL long enough to know that Tom Brady, you do not let a team led by him have any opportunity to come back. And to do that, you have to keep the pressure on. And like Chris Collinsworth even said it on one of the last drives. He's like, I think when it was a 14-point game, he's like, now you have to play offense. Like, it's scary, but you have to play offense. You have to start taking risks, and you have to like move the ball and waste the clock that way instead of just running in hoping something breaks. And yeah, they got the Bucks. The Rams got lucky because they gave the Bucks every opportunity to win. Single opportunity to win.
It seems like this is kind of a common theme with the Rams and McVay, where they kind of just like choke at the end of games. Like even with Goff and stuff, like they choked that Super Bowl where Brady scored 13 points. They couldn't win. I don't know. They just do kind of weird stuff, it seems. But they got the job done.
They should have lost the NFC Championship against New Orleans too.
Yeah.
It's that's why this I guess we could well, should we talk about coaching stuff, or should we go straight into the picks and then coaching?
We can talk about coaching. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, like, that's why this Rams 49ers game is so intriguing, because the 49ers, they have a tendency to come back. They've done it a lot this season, and the Rams have a tendency to choke, and we've already seen it happen with these.
It just happened like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, like the Rams were up 20 or 17-0. All the momentum. Jimmy G's hurt. He can't throw the ball, and you let him throw the Niners back into the game.
Yeah, and Stafford threw 2 picks, I think, that were pretty stupid.
He's been turnover free the playoffs, and that was the thing that we talked about. Like, if he turns the ball over, they're screwed. But he hasn't, and they've won 2 games. They should have won this game pretty convincingly, but we'll see. We'll see how that game turns out.
Yeah,
but I guess we could.
I'm also happy for Stafford. Like,
I
was so happy, like in his post game interview and stuff, and he deserves an NFC Championship attempt.
Yeah.
So yeah,
for sure. With how horrible all those Lions teams were, he needs
exactly
to redeem himself.
But yeah, getting into the Broncos coaching race, it seems like it's just down to 3 candidates now. Apparently, they're going to have like a second round of interviews in the next week. I thought they were going to get this hire done either this week, the 24th through the 28th. is what people were saying the hire was going to be completed.
Mm-hmm.
But now that there's secondary interviews and stuff, I guess not. But it's nice seeing Peyton be so thorough. And I think I trust him to make the right decision here.
Yeah.
But the three candidates, Dan Quinn, Nathaniel Hackett, Jonathan Gannon, and
I don't know how Jonathan Gannon made it to the.
Apparently, I think he just killed his interview.
Yeah, like that's what they were saying. Like, apparently killed his Texans interview too. I think he's a finalist for that job as well, which is like insane considering the Eagles' defense is not that good. So to me, that seems like another Vance Joseph type of hire.
It could be,
but I don't know.
But I think a lot of like head coaching stuff, like you want more of like a leader, I guess, like than X's and O's type of stuff. Like I know Andy Reid went straight from a O-line coach to the head coach of the Eagles. And then there's like other examples of that. Obviously McVay, tight end coach to the head coach.
Yeah.
So I think like you really want a great leader with the head coach. Sometimes that backfires, but sometimes it works.
Yeah, and another thing is like
I was just gonna. It's not like the Eagles' defensive like roster is any good. Like this team was supposed to be like a top 5 pick coming up.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
another thing with the head coaching is like, it's not like you said. It's not all about X's and O's. It's just a lot about who you hire to do the X's and O's.
Right.
Vic Fangio was not good at that, very clearly. He himself was great at the X's and O's when it comes to the defensive end, but he had no clue what to do offensively and who to hire to do the X's and O's. So as long as we hire someone who knows what they're doing in terms of what to do offensively for the X's and O's, I'll be fine. And to me, that is Dan Quinn because obviously, like he had Kyle Shanahan. He hired Kyle Shanahan as his offensive coordinator for those 2 playoff runs they had, and it worked. But even after Kyle Shanahan left, they still had pretty good offenses under Dan Quinn because he knew who to have. And like, yes, they had Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, but outside of that, those rosters were not good. Those were not good teams. So I think Dan Quinn is probably the favorite because of his experience as a head coach.
Yeah, and I think he would be my preference too.
Yeah,
because of the experience, and I heard like if Quinn is hired, the Cowboys defensive line coach is probably going to be heading over as the DC. And he's like there's this one viral video of him, but he's like British, super intense British guy. Like it was funny because he had this accent and stuff. So I think he would come over, and then offensive coordinator. I don't know, maybe Luke Getsy, I guess, from Green Bay if you're trying to learn Rodgers.
Yeah.
What if you bring in Hackett as OC?
I think if you bring in Hackett, I think if he's able to get Hackett as OC, I'm pretty sure that means Aaron Rodgers is coming.
Yeah, because why else would you pick Hackett?
Well, also, why else would Hackett come here?
Yeah.
Like if Hackett, I mean, this is like right now, if you look at roster to roster, you just had the 1 seed with Green Bay. Then you come to a team that misses the playoffs to have the same role. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, unless you know that Aaron Rodgers is coming with you.
Right.
I don't know who he's going to take as OC, but I trust Dan Quinn's judgment already.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel out there too, obviously.
Yep.
And I think there's some other candidates too that I've seen, but I don't remember their names. And then, if you bring Gannon as head coach, I don't know who.
I don't even know who he would be. I don't know a lot about. I didn't really do research on anybody except Dan Quinn and Nathaniel Hackett because I was like, okay, those are going to be the top 2. Like, it just makes the most sense. Like, I didn't even think Gannon would be an option, but I guess he's just a crazy good leader. To me, getting another inexperienced head coach is hard because you look at the last 3 inexperienced head coaches that this franchise has hired, going back to Josh McDaniels and then Vance Joseph and then Vic Fangio, all 3 of them not good. Then you look at the guys who had experience, even if they had struggled in their last head coaching opportunity, like Gary Kubiak, pretty sure went 2-14 his last year as head coach of the Texans. John Fox did not end his tenure with Carolina very well. And Mike Shanahan had 2 losing seasons back-to-back with the Raiders before he came to Denver. So that past experience doesn't matter as long as they know who to hire to help the current roster, which is my argument for why Dan Quinn. Like, I know a lot of people don't want Dan Quinn. He's just like, oh, he didn't do good in Atlanta. It's like,
dude,
if he did good in Atlanta, he'd still be there. Like, coaches get fired. It happens.
Yeah, I hate, like, and a lot of these coaches who, like, retread and stuff, like, it looks like it's a bad, like, people associate that as a bad thing, and Bill Belichick is a retread, and Andy Reid is, and there's a lot of people like that. But I hate these Broncos fans. Like, every reply, it's like, don't hire Dan Quinn. I'm like, why? Like, they just want this, like, young offensive guy. And those don't come around very often. And
you're not gonna find a Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan in every single coaching cycle. It just isn't gonna happen. Guys like that, the reason why guys like that aren't available all the time is because teams know that, so they keep them under wraps until they know that they're ready to have a bigger role. They're not just gonna come out every single time. It's like I don't understand. I don't know what they want.
And I'm looking at Gannon's career history, by the way. He was a defensive back coach with the Vikings from 14 to 17, and obviously that defense and that secondary was awesome. And then he went to the Colts, and he was also defensive back coach with the Colts. And I know he turned like Xavier Rhodes into being practically out of the league
to being good.
And then Kenny Moore developed. I think he was undrafted free agent, and he's developed into a stud. And so I think it would be nice, like, if we have him, like him with Surtain would be cool. So I mean, I wouldn't, like, I'm trusting Peyton fully, and he hasn't given me a reason not to trust him yet. And he looks like a stud at GM, and I think he knows what he's doing.
No, I agree. And this is also the first coach that Joe Ellis isn't going to have a major say in a while, like a long time, which is good. Joe Ellis has increased his likability over the last 3 weeks.
Yes.
A lot. Because he just has not anytime he opened his mouth, I would just be like, I hate you, please shut up. But now he's been way more candid about everything. And he's earned a lot of respect throughout the organization. So like you said, whoever he hires, I'm cool with. I don't think that it'll matter. I think as long as they hire a good offensive coordinator, I'll be fine.
Yeah. My preference is Quinn. Both of our preferences, I think, are Quinn.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I remember I specifically wanted Kyle Shanahan, even when I was a little football noob and not really knowing much. Yeah, but this time I don't really care.
Yeah.
But all right, if we want to get into our picks for the championship games.
Yes.
It is Bengals at Chiefs, and then Rams, or is it Niners at Rams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, both of my Super Bowl picks are out already.
Dude, I forgot. So we both went 2 and 4, right? 2 for 4.
I think I went 1 for 3. I had the Rams, but I had the Titans winning.
Oh yeah, you did.
And then I had the Packers winning, Bills. And I had the Bills winning.
Yeah, so I went 1 for 3. Titans, dude. I actually did switch. I went on another podcast thing with my friend, and I actually did switch the Buccaneers to the Rams. But on this one, 2. Because I went Chiefs, Titans, Rams, Niners, but I picked the Buccaneers in this, so 2 for 4. But I still got my teams in here with the Niners and Chiefs.
I do not. So I don't know. I'm gonna go Chiefs and. Ooh, it's tough. The NFC is tough. It is. Man. like we said, the Niners have won the first two matchups, but the second matchup was not that long ago, and the teams are like the same. One thing that is a little concerning about the Niners is that both Debo and George Kittle were limping at the end of the game.
And Trent Williams.
Yeah, he had to come off in crutches. So if even like two of those guys are out, then that is a huge blow to that offense.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm gonna go with the Rams. Like, there's no way they can win 3 straight times, especially if like the best left tackle in football is hurt, the best tight end in football is hurt,
and just up 17-0 too.
Yeah,
against the Niners.
Jimmy G can't win.
Dude, there's just no way. I know.
There's no way he's gonna win you a game. I don't think that he can do it. If he was healthy, maybe, but he is not even close to healthy right now. So there's no way. There's just no way. Especially with how he's played in the playoffs, I don't see him having like a crazy good performance to carry him to a win, which is what is going to have to happen.
I'm changing my pick.
You going Niners?
I'm going Niners, actually. I'm just thinking, here's the reasoning. It's literally only because of the Niners' run game against a small defensive. This small defensive front for the Rams works against Brady, who threw the ball 54 times.
Yeah, pass-heavy teams, yeah.
Running, I think you can run on the Rams.
You are right on that.
That is going to be the reason I pick it, and I think the Niners, dude. It's just like the Niners just win. I don't get it. Like their defense is solid, and their offense somehow does enough, and their special teams obviously looked amazing.
If it comes down to like a last possession type of thing, or like whoever ends up with the ball last is going to win, then I think the Niners would win it, because when it comes down to clutch situations, like as much as we hate on Jimmy, like the dude gets it done when he has to. Like, I don't know how.
Yeah. But
he gets it done when he has to get it done.
Literally, he was throwing like dimes across the middle of the field. Like Kittle dropped one. This is against the Packers.
His first 4 incompletions were all dimes, and they were all just dropped.
Yeah.
Like it was very odd.
I remember there's like a 3rd and 13 too that I think he converted.
Yeah.
In a clutch situation, but yeah, I mean it's hard picking against the Rams. Like maybe this is Stafford's like year. Like
it could be. Maybe they're just like that's the same thing with like the Bengals. Like maybe they're just a team of destiny at this point. But
yeah,
I team of destiny does not work against the Chiefs, because I thought the Bills were a team of destiny. But I'm gonna go Chiefs Rams as my Super Bowl. I also think,
dude, imagine the Bengals win. That would be so hilarious. I feel like the spread is gonna be like 6.5 or something.
It's gonna be pretty large.
7.5
at home with an offense that's on fire. As they've scored 40+ points in 2 straight games in the playoffs.
And there's just no way they allowed Jamar Chase to just go one-on-one every single time again.
No. I mean, the Titans even didn't. Like, they were doubling him and bracketing him with soft coverage the whole time.
Mean, the Titans' defense is great, yeah.
It's good. And he still had 100 yards.
I know.
He's just insane. But I feel like they're going to do a much better job. The Chiefs have to do a much better job against them. There's going to be a good – there's no way it tops this weekend, but it's going to be a good championship weekend.
Yeah.
It's going to be like it's like a new one. Like, it's no Rodgers, no Brady. It's kind of the young guys, the new people. So it'll be exciting. I hope the Bengals win. I hope it's Bengals Rams.
Yeah, the Bengals in the Super Bowl, that would be so fire.
Like I now I'm just rooting hardcore for the Rams because I need Von Miller to get another ring.
Yeah, I'm just rooting now with Rodgers choking and stuff. Mahomes is my GOAT now. He's gonna be my GOAT agenda, and
I mean he there's like gotta be an argument for him being a top 10 quarterback of all time, right?
Right now? Oh, he for sure is.
Because his playoff stats are unbelievable.
He gets better in the playoffs, whereas literally everyone else gets worse.
Yeah, everybody else. Him and Josh Allen are the only 2 quarterbacks I've seen get like significantly better in the postseason.
You can come up with a debate that you could come up with like a GOAT debate. Like maybe not GOAT, but like second of all time. I think you can already make that debate.
If you
The
look at just like
same amount of rings as Rodgers. He plays better in the playoffs than Rodgers.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
it's
you
tough.
make a debate.
It's tough. You could. Because he's the scariest thing is he's only going to get better now.
I mean, he's what, 25, 26?
25, 26? He's only going to get better. He, like, is just now starting to, like, read defenses instead of just be like, oh, I got the biggest arm in the league. Let me just man. Now he's, like, starting to read defenses. He knows, oh, it's cover 2. This spot's going to be available. This spot's going to be available. If I look this way, I draw the linebacker here. This is going to be available. Kelsey and I have a good connection. I know when he's going to do this. Like, he's starting to think like that, and it's terrifying.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like, this is like broken Mahomes. Remember broken Mahomes stuff we were saying in the regular season and saying in the regular season, and he still comes out and has 4,800 yards and 37 touchdowns. This broken Patrick Mahomes.
This is the worst season of his career.
Yeah, it's just washed Mahomes. He's insane. Like, I think he has the best, like, oh, dude, did I say this stat? Damn, I hope I have this saved. Like, EPA, God damn it, I don't think I do because I got suspended.
I think you might have said it last episode.
Was it with, like, Peyton Manning? Like, he already has a higher...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's literally better than Peyton Manning already in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And, like, dude, he's just insane. Like, 380 yards and 3 touchdowns against the number 1 defense. Are you kidding me?
Like, because of the Chiefs, like, I think of so many ways to try and discredit them because of the Chiefs, and I hate them, but I just can't.
I know.
I can't.
I hate the stadium. I hate the colors. I hate the fans. I hate everything about the Chiefs. But Mahomes, dude, he is amazing.
He is. He truly is. I don't know how else we can. The Bills played like a perfect game, and they still couldn't win.
Mm-hmm.
That's just incredible. And the Chiefs at home in the postseason, they used to not be able to win, and now they just don't lose. So,
yeah. I don't know what they're 8-1 now, I think, with
Mahomes,
at home.
Yeah.
He hasn't played a road playoff game, true road, like, because the Super Bowl is a neutral site. He hasn't played a playoff game. Like,
yeah.
Dude, how are we gonna ever win this division? I
don't know. He's gonna have to get hurt. It's gonna have to be there's gonna be a Brady thing. He's gonna have to tear his ACL or do something season-ending. So but there's one tiny window that we have.
The thing with Brady, he tore his ACL in 2008, and they still go 11-5 without Brady. with Matt Castle.
Yeah,
they go 11-5. That really shows you how valuable Tom Brady is, right? But yeah, all right. I think that is. I don't think we have much more to say.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about NBA today. I don't think it's important on a weekend like this.
But we will start. If you're listening 2 hours into this, we will start. I think when this season is over, or I don't know, maybe start.
Maybe during
football season.
Pro Bowl week or something.
Yeah. Like after these championship games, and there's that 2-week break. I think we're gonna start after every Nuggets game, we'll kind of live stream and talk about it and really target a specific audience here and try to, start our brand going, I guess, as Denver fans. And then maybe we can, after that, if things are going well, we can start talking more national stuff outside of Denver sports teams.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll happen. Got some good stuff lined up. Now that we have some more, we know what we're doing at least.
Yeah,
a little bit. We'll be able to figure out some better stuff, content wise. I think that's it.
But that'll do it. Thank you guys for watching, and we're out.